Hello, friends. Hello, hello, hello. It is bright and early here in Toronto. And yeah, I'm just gonna get right into this one because if I don't, I'm probably gonna chicken out and not do it. And what I want to talk about is just this super personal interaction that I had with my agent. I called it a mental meltdown a little bit, but upon reflection, I mean, I was probably being dramatic. I mean, being dramatic in what I told him, possibly, or maybe I'm being dramatic in the fact that I think that I was being over dramatic. I don't know, but um, you know what? Let me just start off with reading the email or part of the email. I'm not gonna read the entire thing. I'm gonna read part of the email that I sent to my agent just to give you like what my mindset was because really I I woke up in almost panic mode. Like I was just like, and I started thinking about my career. I started thinking about like where I am right now as a writer, and I don't know, I panicked. So here's what I wrote, part of what I wrote. Yes, I said it would be a good idea to ask Tundra, my publisher, because I have no idea what their expectations are. I only know mine, and maybe if I knew what they were thinking, are they disappointed? Are they happy? Are they hopeful? Then it would at least let me know where I stand. Because another one of my fears is that all of this will go away. Like Tundra won't want to publish any more of my books, and I'll be back to square one trying to find what I feel like is a beautiful home because I really do love my publishers. Um, I know that sounds crazy, but it's a thought that goes through my mind, especially over the past few months where I've gotten so much more exposure. I'm interacting with all these people who are praising me for all the things that I've accomplished. I put that in quotes in the email. And it kind of makes me feel like a bit of a fraud. And not quite a fraud because I believe in myself and I know I've accomplished a lot. But in people's eyes, I think they believe I'm a lot further ahead than I really am. That kind of disconnection worries me. Um, so again, this email was really personal, and what the things that I was feeling is really kind of hard to explain. There's no one really to talk to about it, which is why I sent my agent the email. And I think part of it is that exposure part I mentioned at the end. This is by far the most exposed I've been as an author, meaning when I put out my first book 10 years ago till now, the amount of people who are aware of me and who are fans of my writing is it's like not even comparable, obviously. Like there's so many more people, readers, and just people who are part of this journey have been on this journey with me. Like it's just I have a lot of people now. But that I think the other part of me is that what I have in my head as where I want to be as a writer and what's happening now and where I am now is probably it's just not the same. And interacting with people in real life and having all these people say that, they love my book or appreciate my book or connecting with my books, um, as thrilling as it is also a little bit frightening because of what I said. Like, it feels like, I don't know, like, not that am I a real author? I'm not at that level, not close to that level, but again, I think that there's just a big fear, um, that I'm just not living up to whatever image I have of myself in my mind. I think is probably the biggest fear. And then I express that fear onto like what my publisher, what I assume they're thinking because I never even asked them. Like what are the expectations? Now they ended up emailing me back because we did have a conversation with them, um, and they alleviated a lot of the fears that were kind of ruminating in my mind. But that morning was serious. Like when I woke up that morning, I was just like in full panic mode about what I'm doing, and then I also had this fear of being kind of labeled as a specific type of writer, like I can only write YA books or something like that, or I could. My next two novels are actually middle grade novels. Like Scholastic had asked me to write, which is another blessing. Again, Scholastic asked me to write a book, so they asked me to write a middle grade book that's coming out in October, and then um, with my other publisher, which is Tundra Penguin Random House. Um, they asked me to write another middle grade book, you know. So I have two middle grade books coming out, and I was really nervous about being kind of labeled in that type of author. When that's not necessarily like I just don't want a label, you know. I didn't want a label, so it started just messing with my head, you know. All of those things like coming together really started messing with my head, and when I expressed it to my agent, or because it was messing with me so much, I had to spit it out, and I didn't know who to message. I don't know. I don't think messaging my publisher that was like going to be the right move. Um, at least that's again, I made that up in my head. They're totally amazing. You know what I mean? Like most of my books are with Penguin. I only have the one book with Scholastic, so I really love them. Like they've been invested in my career, like not just one single book. They've been invested in like my career. Um, and we might even do another book together. So that that was just assumptions in my mind that I made up. But I think I'm someone who is very much active in kind of writing circles and in the writing community and literary communities where I'm just like seeing and a lot of different authors and meeting a lot of different people, and I think it kind of skewed my own perception of who I am as a writer and who I am as an author and where I am, like the position that I'm in. And I stopped seeing how fortunate I am, you know. I stopped seeing how blessed I am. But and I think it just triggered something that made me nervous. But I mean, I also must admit that I did get over this, you know, fairly quickly. Like after a couple days, I was like, what is happening? Like, what are you talking about, Kern? Like, look at all the things that you're doing. Look at the readers that you've been able to accumulate. Look at the books that you're writing. These books that I'm writing are totally from my heart. You know, I'm not writing any kind of story where I feel pressured to write something, or I feel like it's not a reflection of the stories that are in my mind, or not a reflection of the quality of work that I want to do, or is a reflection of the readers who I want to reach. Like it's not, it's all like these are my dreams. Like you guys, I've told you so many times that I'm a I'm a lifetime writer. I've been writing books since I was 8. I've been reading since I was 3 or 4 years old. This is what I wanted to do from birth, you know? So to be in this position is a blessing, but I don't know. I think my ambitions sometimes kind of overpower logic, and I know it does take some delusion, you know, to think that an author from Toronto can be one of the best authors in the world. But I'm a very delusional person by nature. Um, so it's just like really difficult sometimes when, yeah, just whatever's in my head is not occurring in real life. And it could feel very painstakingly long, um, for things to move in the direction that I want them to move in, you know? My agent, bless his soul, was very accommodating, and I feel like he handled the situation well. And I'm just, yeah, I'm grateful for that. I have another thing I'm grateful for is having just a very supportive agent and a very honest agent. And I don't know, I really hope that, or I should say, I hope authors, I'm sharing this because I know authors, writers, we go through so much rejection and so many emotional hurdles, and they're not even hurdles. We go through emotional mountains with our work, you know. These are, it doesn't matter what you're writing, it's so personal to you, and we don't often get to express that, you know. So this is me expressing that. So hopefully other authors, other writers realize that, yeah, you're not alone when you're going through your emotional journey, when you're going trying to climb your emotional mountain, because the work we're doing is just feels so precious. And I guess once again, I don't know, I just had a moment. I had a moment. But anyway, I want to share that. Um, Again, just so everyone knows, or just so every other writer knows that this is not something specific to them. And I don't even know if other writers go through this very specific situation. So I'd be curious if you do, and you're a writer and you do, or if you're just a creative person and you go through this. It would be good if you just let me know in the comments if this is something that you've gone through yourself. But I want to share that. Thank you for letting me babble about this this very personal email and this very personal situation that I've been going through the last little while. Like this just literally just happened like last week. So yeah,